like I promised. It came. Yay. I was really on the fence about ordering this, but I think it was the right thing to do. It's strange, right? It's a fad, right? Oh no! What is it? Oh gosh, look. Okay, yes. It's one of these wonderful fan palettes. Oh, I'm so happy. There we go. And this folds down and gives me a little palette for mixing, a sponge here, another little palette. And yeah, just really sweet. And then it has a water brush. Let's see if I can put it from down there. That's always fun. And just plop it in my pocket and purse and take it off with me. It has some beautiful pastels and then the normal colors. And then on the top rows on this side are the metallics. Look at those. Ooh-wee. Very pretty. And then there's your blues, greens and blues and the earth tones. And it came in this all wrapped up beautiful, beautiful presentation. It comes with this instructions on how to use the brush. Back of the case, you know, just give some more information about there's 10 metallic, 10 macaroon, and then 36 classic. There's the watercolor brush, of course, all the paints, and with the built-in palette and sponge, and then the swatch card. As their story here. This is a really pretty box. A nice presentation. And oh my goodness. I can't wait. This is the swatch card. And away we go, I think. I think anyway. So let's see here. It's gonna start off on, it appears, on this side over here. So it's F61, F61. All right, there we go. And I'm going to just start on in. I'm not even pre-wetting these. That's the pastel orange. Oh gosh. I guess I could have used the watercolor brush, but I'll save that for another day. I'm not as good with them as some people are. And I'm just so used to my brushes. And this is just a regular, it's a 5 round and does the job. Baby pink. It's a pretty color. I'm actually going to grab a different brush. I'm going to grab my Princeton Aqua Elite. It's one of my favorite brushes. And all right. Though it might be too big. Might need to get a different brush. That's tulip pink. Oh, you know, one of the reasons I really wanted this, I know not everybody likes the colors with the white and all that, but gosh darn, I really, really enjoy. Let's see here. I'm gonna go for this one. It's at my Princeton round. That other one was a real angle, and it's not my favorite brush. Okay, F66 is fuchsia. Anyway, I really like these pastels. They looked really pretty, and I like them in gouache. I like to mix them myself. I'm not doing a good job painting, am I, guys? All right. It's just a swatch. It's okay. I think I'm a little out of A little out of practice maybe with my swatching pastel purple. There we go. This had been on back order, and I almost didn't get it. I was just taking so long to get it. And, you know, and then finally I said, well, you know, maybe I should just cancel the order. It's not coming. And Grabie got a hold of me and said, oh, they've been speeding up production on them, and they're on the way, but hang on. And so I did. And that is powder blue. It is powdery. Yes, they are chalky, they are pastels. I know that the other colors aren't going to be as opaque as this. These fan palettes in general, it seems to be only really one maker of them out there, and I suspect they're making them for Grabie as well. Paris green. Okay. And we have rain here in Santa Fe on this fine April night. We're at the end of April. We've gone from 80s to 20s every other weekend. It's been crazy and a little bit fun in its strange way. But we're about to hit May, and then the winds kind of die down from spring, and it gets really hot. So we just go right into summer, and it's going to be a hot one, I'm sure, this year. We've been in drought for a while, and it just seems to be every summer is just a little bit worse than the one before it, as far as, you know, the heat and so forth. And June tends to be our hottest month of all things. It's a very strange thing that's happening with our weather down in this area. And it's like the axis has changed a little bit. Our blizzards come in November. Yeah. It's a good time to bring out the paints. We'll be getting the garden going, and I'll be planting, and then I'll be painting out there. That'll be fun. All right. So now I've just finished up the 10 of the macaroon colors, and I'm going on to the standard colors here. So I think we're going to see that these are maybe a little bit more on the transparent side, but I'm not sure. We're going to find out, unless these are not being made by the same company. I'm hoping that they are, because if they're what I think they are, they'll be very, very nice. Sunshine yellow. This card is more like cardstock than it is, or maybe a hot press paper. And I'm used to painting on cold press. It's my favorite, though I'll do gouache occasionally in my hot press. It's canary yellow. So these have more, less standard names. They're creatively named, I guess is what we would say. This next one's called Sunflower. It looks more like a cadmium or gambage, or cadmium yellow, or orange yellow. Yeah, it's interesting. This next one looks, it says tangerine. Okay, I've seen these names before. But you know what it is? I think they're named the same as the ones that are in the Grabie 50. And I'll bring that out here in a minute. Carrot. Oh, okay. Okay, we're thinking food, and we're thinking flowers, and we're thinking anything other than paint names or standardized paint names. That's okay. Here we are, our first 5 of our standard, and I'm gonna go on to the next. This has a ring on the back too to hold it, but I think this would be awkward to hold in my hand. Maybe not, but I'm gonna use this. I've seen people use this to put like little pieces of watercolor paper on, and use it like an easel. That would be kind of fun to try. This one is orange proper. All right. Fire. Okay. You can see some of those pastels are drying with a little bit of white on top. I'm wondering if I'm gonna need to go over those. It's like the white pigment is just coming right up to the top. Maybe as they dry, it'll settle down. We'll see. Okay, C11 is rose. I did paint over the line there, but you can see that these are more transparent than those are. And this one is just plain out red. I'm hoping that these will be fun for playing with. I got them in part, because it's a main brand, right? And the fan palettes are fun. Usually the colors are really, again, unless somebody else is now making the colors, or if their formulas are different, the paints tend to be fairly decent, for playing with and giving you a painter kind of effect, and I thought that'd be kind of fun just for journaling and just for play, and I just wanted to see if if they were worth it. How are they? Are they gonna, if you could only afford one set, what would you do? And it's like, why not get less colors and do professional? But for some people, they really want more, and they want to have an experience at the same time, and they want to have fun, right? They want to be all serious, and C15. Okay, I am on the right color, and I got this to have fun. Just like, not that I don't have fun with my other watercolors and things, but it's it's just what are you going to enjoy, right? And then maybe after you've been doing it for a while, you're just like, hey, I want to get into this a little bit more. Why are they talking about these other kinds of paints and these other sets, and then you start exploring, right? So it's okay. It's okay to have a fun one to play with, I have, a convenience set, a hobby set can be a heck of a lot of fun. And what matters is that you're enjoying yourself, or you're getting calm from it, or, you're getting an experience from it. Maybe it's one of peace, maybe it's one of, just touching something creative, and that's different from all the stress of the world or all the pain of the world or sadness of the world. I mean, people paint for therapy. I paint for therapy, my goodness, yes. You know, to find themselves and to, you know, it's a way to communicate with ourselves and our connection to something that's more than us and real, and it comes out in creative ways. You know, sometimes we just touch it and we have a little light goes on and we realize something important about our lives, and or we see a color and it just sparks a little spark of joy, right? This is called Golden Brown. The jaune looks a little bit like a yellow ochre. This, I don't know. That's supposed to be a burnt sienna. It's supposed to be golden brown. Okay. We don't have our normal names. This one's called Tawny. All right. Oh, there you go. That looks like a red. Red ochre, maybe? It's kind of fun. Kind of like that color. I'm actually really liking that golden brown too. The Dijon's missing. I mean, maybe I just didn't get it down thick enough. I might go over that one again. Maybe I just need to see, give it a little bit more and see if it, yeah, we'll see what happens to it. These look like they have a little granulation. Granulation can be fun. I like my flat paints too, where I'm controlling my texture, but sometimes, yeah, that's a pretty brown. And it is called brown. And again, it looks like it has a little granulation. Is that a PBR7? I'm learning all these, you know, well, back when I was going to college for art, you know, we knew a lot about our pigments. I'm just relearning them personally. So, and that's okay. I didn't think I was like, oh, do I really want to get into that? But it wasn't that important to me back in the day. Now all of a sudden, I want to know, you know? I want to know more about, you know, what makes up a color. Okay, this one's called Sugar, and it looks like a white sparkly. These would be really good, you know, to highlight a painting or for cards or lettering. There's a little bit of shimmer and shine there. I think you can see that. It's gonna put mica in my water for all my other colors. I'm gonna have to be careful there. This one is called Rain, and this one, wow, it went liquid really, I mean, it activated really quickly there. And okay, that's a dark rain. That's interesting. And this one's called Sun. Okay, so we're evoking the temporal zone. I don't know what we're evoking. The meteorological, and you know, we're going to go into, you know, these names that create immediate feelings, right? I don't know if you can see that little shine in there. These are fun, and these are activating really quickly, guys. So I have metallics, my Cottmans. Oh my god, I cannot get those. They just take forever to activate. I got so frustrated with them, I have to say. And then I got some Van Goghs. Oh, those are just, and I do have core, and those also, oh my goodness, they just like, oh, they're just so fluid. Okay, there's a little bit, that's rich gold. All right, and then this one is called Woody, and it looks more coppery to me. C500 Woody. Probably getting that too wet now. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. It has more, has some granulation with the mica, so they think it creates a wood texture, is my guess. That's interesting. I hope you can see that a little bit there. How much fun is that? You know, I may be painting butterflies with the grandkids, you know. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. Birds with colored feathers and hummingbirds, and you know, I use my Daniel Smith to make these hummingbird ornaments, and they have sparkle, and they're delightful. But I did varnish them on top, so you know, so they would last beyond, you know, so they'd be light fast, just in case when I give them away to the kids and the grandkids, if they ended up in direct light, that they would not be affected. I wanted to protect them with something, so I got a UV kind of protecting varnish. And that's a fine thing to do, you know. They were painted on a ground that I had placed on a wood desk. They're really quite nice. And Daniel Smith had come out with this new painting ground, and I was trying that. It works really nice. Okay. And this is C421, which is lemon. All right. Okay. This looks like a fluorescent yellow mixed with mica. And that is exactly what it is. Very, very, very happy color there. All right. All right, frosty blue. And these are really, they're in order. Gosh darn, how much I appreciate that. I still might have a little bit of trouble, you know, kind of finding it, but I think having, I think I'll be able to use a swatch card without having to make a kind of a different one. Because, you know, they have the number down here, and then I can match the number up here. And it's kind of got the color, but the color isn't completely true, so, you know, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. I really, that's like it's powder blue, but with the mica, and I really kind of like that too. I really want to go back. See that? Those two, I want to paint again. I might just do that. We'll see. This one is Granita. Okay. That name isn't one I'm familiar with. A couple of my, you know, these hobby sets have the metallics in them, and it's, you know, it does make them fun. You know, the teens like the metallics, and of course they can also add that kind of color with markers and so forth. So this is a purple metallic, and they call it Witch, of all things. I mean, I guess cartoon witches might have purple hats. I don't know. That's actually really pretty. This one here, this Perla, I think is maybe it's supposed to be Pearl. I don't know. That might be a misspelling, but it's not a bad one. All right, now we're on to the rest of the standard colors. So those are the on the first petals, they have the metallic, and they have these macaroon colors. So I'm going to go over, and now we're on to our greens. So, oh yeah, these again are just more traditional, and looks like a nice yellow green. This next one looks more like a regular old green, and it is called green. Okay, we agree. There you go. Next one is emerald. Ooh, just activates so quickly. I didn't even barely touch it. I didn't close the door to my spare bedroom where I have my little desk set up, and so you might be hearing little noises from other family members. That's my fault, and I apologize. Jungle green. Looks like a hooker's green. This one's called bottle green. All right. Let's see what this is. Oh, that's like a viridian. Look at that. So, you know, even though these are, names that are not standard for colors, these are, I can kind of identify where I am. This one is going to be called Army Green, and it looks like olive green. Oh, that is a nice olive green. Look at that. This paper isn't really letting me gradate like a wash or anything that I would normally do on one of my other, my normal swatches sheets. And I don't even know if I'll do one for this. I may, we'll see, on my cold pressed cotton paper like I normally do. Again, this is just for fun. I might not even do that. I might just enjoy it. Okay, baby blue. And it has some white in it. This one is called Cerulean. Oh, there we go. That's a normal paint name. That's a name I recognize. All right. Yeah, this paper is, it's okay. It's great that they provided a swatch. See, I don't want to complain too much. It's just, I would have rather had something with some tooth in it, and this is very flat, and it's not very thick paper. And that one is just called Blue, and it looks like a phthalo blue, which probably is. Next one is called Sky. Am I right? C29, C30, C31, C32. Okay. Here we go. Sky. Again, these are just in this color. I didn't pre-treat these or anything. They're just touching them with a wet brush, and they're just coming right up, which is nice. Admiral. Let's see, is that my ultramarine? It's called Ultramarine Admiral. All right, Admiral Blue. There's some new imagery for me. And yeah, you can see like that paint just, it doesn't have a whole lot of places to go. But there's already some granulation in that, so I'm pretty sure that is ultramarine. This one is called Yale Blue. Gosh, it's so dark. What the heck? I guess I'm gonna have to put some clean water on it. See if I can get I mean, it's so dark you can almost not see that it's blue. Wow. Be interesting seeing how that dries. There you go. Very pigmented. I'll give you a closer look at those. Okay, here we go. The last little blade, or I guess we could call them blades, or yeah, blades of a fan. We call these fan palettes, right? So, cornflower. A lot of white in this one, but I really like it. Again, I tend to like these anyway. Yeah, these would be really nice for, you know, if you have a watercolor coloring book, you know, it's the watercolor paper where there's images. Grabie has, of course, those. But there are other ones out there, and these would be really nice on that. I can see that, you know, there's some nice colors in here. This is blue-gray. All right, you say so. I think this is supposed to be an indigo or a Prussian blue. I think that's supposed to be a Prussian blue, maybe. $37 black denim. All right. Oh, this is interesting. This is like a Payne's gray. Nice. Interesting. I don't know. This one says dark violet, and it is a dark violet. It's a strange place. I would have expected it. Well, I guess it's not a strange place. I guess you would go from the blues to the violets in the spectrum. I guess it's, okay. Can live with that. Yeah, that's definitely, look at that. I'm liking that black denim. I'm a lover of Payne's gray anyway. This one says cool black. I thought it said coal black. This is a cool black. And this last one is probably going to be more like what we think of as being black, a lamp black, or yeah. Wow, it's really intense and inky, kind of be good for outlining. If I can get enough water in there, you can see that it has some granulation. So if you were to mix a color with it that wasn't granulating it, you might get some cool effects. That's granulating. I mean, there's some neat things going on, and even though this paper isn't the best, you can kind of see these are not the worst things in the world. I mean, they are. There's some fun stuff in here just to have fun with, just to, you know, to put a mark down. I mean, let me see here. I really wanna. I just keep second guessing myself that let's see, I have 68. I just want to put a little bit more of this one down. I just don't think I got it. It didn't activate it fully or something. You see, it's a. Let's see if that dries differently. And then F70. this one just has so much white in it, it's not going to do much more than it is anymore. I just wanted to even it out a little. Got some cauliflowers going on here with the turquoise. And we'll see how they layer. And this Paris green I'm going to go back over as well, just because I want to even them out, and just so I can really get a good representation on the paper of what they're supposed to be. And now that they're painting on top of themselves, that paper, you know, they're reacting with the paint versus the paper that's underneath, and that seems to be giving them a little more oomph. Yeah. And even though these are opaque, I mean, obviously you can kind of see here where they're you know, as I'm going over, you can kind of see where I went over the lines. I'm not doing a good job coloring, but you can, you know, I can see the color still, and I can see the black line underneath, so they're not completely opaque. I mean, that French fuchsia, boy, I guess that's supposed to be like an opera. That makes sense. But it's, I'm not sure about it being a macaroon color. I would have expected it to have more white in it. It's like some of these I would have put over in the standard colors, right? The turquoise in that one. Yeah, that one's still drying with that really white pasty on it. That's okay. That's what they are. I like this one better than I do the lavender, I think. But they're not bad. These are fun. And, you know, and that there's some actual watercolor effects going on. Yeah. And, you know, maybe we'll do something really quick and fun with these. I've got this little block of cold press water paper. Itty bitty drawing, right? Itty bitty drawing. I'll set that up there to dry. Yeah, and maybe we'll just pull out some colors and see what I can come up with. I don't know. Maybe we'll just, you know, try a little watercolor technique or two with them, and just see, you know, what, you know, like that you might find in another, you know, video. We're just making flowers, right? Drops. That's gonna look pretty. And maybe I'll drop in a little bit of the orange color, this orange yellow color. Something I like to do. Maybe a little of the white there. And then we'll, you know, just let's give it a try. Nothing fancy, right? See what happens when colors go on top of each other, how they mix. Oh gosh, everybody's going to be wanting to see what happens if we put some metallic in there. Put some metallic in the middle. I don't think it'll do a whole lot right off, but you know, I mean, this is cold press, and you can see that they're moving like a watercolor would, or like a should, right? You get that kind of experience, right? And let's see if I do it this way. I'm going to do a different sort of technique. It's okay if the colors are coming in. I always kind of like that when that happens anyway. And throw in some blue, why not? I like to see my colors in a couple places, so mix some of that in here and see what happens. Mixing my colors on the paper. Now that just really went nicely, didn't it? It was really sweet. All right, I'm gonna take some of this color of the witch here and see if I can. Oh, it's gonna lift first. Hey, I was gonna see if I could add some details. Yeah, it's not bad. You know, I'm just playing just to see what they feel like more than anything else. I'm gonna pull out one of my other reds now. No, I think I'm gonna pull this jam. I like that this color looked really fun too. A slightly different technique here and a little flower down here. He's kind of squished. And let's grab a different brighter orange and throw in there. Huh. I can see that. I like to play with mixes, you know, it's just so much fun. It's so relaxing. It's like, oh, I wonder what I'm going to get today. Oh, goodness. Yeah. I like colorful leaves. Imagine to play in my colors. I like to make mud sometimes too, you know. Get a little bit of a different flower that back there. It's the same kind of metallic in the middle. Anyway, and the metallic, the yellow's coming out and mixing with the blue. Well, it's just fun. Let's see, there was over here. This other color I really kind of liked. Put in a different kind of flower here. It's kind of making its own way. Yeah. And it's okay to play. It's okay if it just is a mess. You know, sometimes these dry and they are just so pretty. And, you know, it's like the best thing ever. And that's really going crazy. It's got a mind of its own. There you go. I'm thinking this one needs to be lightened up a little. There you go. I'm gonna put some of that in here too. Now you're saying, oh, she's gone too far, she's gonna make mud. Yep, probably. But I'll have fun doing it at least. Anyway, so, you know, just having some fun. I really want to get some metallic in that one, but just... Now, I have this other really fun little technique that I like to do, and I'm just playing. And you know, these cellulose sponges are kind of fun, and I'll just model it, and it brings all the tones down. And you wouldn't think you'd want that, but you might, because then you can do interesting things on top of it that might get, you know, a little bit of fun going on too. And then it might just become like a decorative background, right? Maybe I should have, you know, maybe I'm gonna paint the background a little bit. Like I said, they just start to take on their own little life. And when they dry, they can be really cool. So, yeah, they can be really muddy too, and just like what you do is so pretty, and now it's like yuck. Yeah. But then something else happens, right? So you can make as much mud as you want. You're painting. Anyway, I'm about to wrap up. I've been bugging you guys long enough. Just having fun. And yeah, I want to encourage you just to play. Sometimes it's like, you know, mud pies were a fun thing as a kid. Gosh. It's okay. It's okay if it's mud. It's okay if it doesn't make sense. It's okay if it's, you know, kind of going in and making it dreamy, you know? And when I get things like this and where they're all dreamy, what I do is, you know, I'll go in and then I'll add things later to it. You know, I'll add, oh gosh, pen and ink is one of my favorite things to add. I really think this needs some blue in there too. That mica. Doesn't make sense, but it's fine if it doesn't. And then you can just go back in as it's starting to dry after you've modeled it, and you can kind of give it definition again. But yeah, I'm making mud. So that, you know, I'll show you one of my here's a doodle. I love doing these little doodles. This is part of my play, you know, and I'll get going, and yeah, here's one where I put a bunch of just colors, and I was running colors, and I went back in with my marker. That was fun. This is another one where, you know, I just kind of let it get all hazy and dreamy, and it's just, and it has some shine and sparkle. I was playing with metallics, and this, you know, you just never know what's going to come out of these. They can just be a whole lot of fun, like I said, to play with. And when they dry, the effects are different, right? So, I mean, this is just fun for like a little card, you know, or you could have a whole bookmark of that, right? And I have other ones where, you know, where I've played, and here's a bookmark I can show you with this kind of playing technique. So this is probably the type of thing I'll do with this set. I'll have some fun with it where I've, you know, I started off and then I splattered and I, you know, there's all sorts of things you can do. And, you know, as this dries, I'll probably, like I said, I might come in with some other colors or something. Who knows? I might add, you know, might define some things again like that. I might bring in some more of these pastels. Might add a flower over here. And then next thing you know, it's starting to become something different, right? Might add some of that lavender that I was worried about, but you know what? Look at that. Layered. It's starting to look kind of interesting. Huh. Yeah. So I just encourage you just to play, have fun, see what comes out of it. It's okay to make mud. And it's okay to make art too. How's that? Yeah. Something interesting starts to happen. It's okay if it becomes decorative. Which is what I think that this set's really going to be good for. Is, you know, just being decorative, being fun. And I think that it'll have some, I think it's going to be a heck of it. I think I'm going to enjoy it. I can tell already. I'm already playing with it. So this is the type of thing I like to do, right? And it's okay. It's okay if it doesn't make sense. Okay, you have a wonderful night. You have sweet dreams. And may your blessings be doubled every day. Good night, everybody.